There are 4 key components in the introduction section of a scientific research article. Let's imagine that a researcher is writing an article about varroa mites in honeybee colonies. This writer would start their introduction section by letting the reader know that the varroa mite is a parasite that feeds on honeybees. This is the broad topic of this research article. Then the writer explains that varroa mite infestations weaken honeybee hives and contribute to their collapse. These infestations limit the ability of beekeepers to produce honey. This specific information about varroa mites highlights the problem that this research will explore, which is the second key component of the introduction. By outlining the problem in this way, the reader immediately knows why they should care about varroa mites and varroa mite infestations. Next, the writer will then outline how other researchers have attempted to address this problem. For example, some researchers have looked at efficacy of mechanical adjustments to colonies as one way to reduce varroa mite populations. Other studies have explored the use of synthetic chemical treatments to reduce these mite populations. Our writer will then indicate the gap in research by telling the reader what hasn't been done. The writer explains to the reader that the beekeeping industry has developed many treatments to reduce the presence of varroa mites in honeybee colonies, including behavioral modifications, mechanical adjustments, synthetic chemical treatments, and natural chemical treatments. However, limited research has investigated the effectiveness of natural chemical treatments. This last sentence highlights the gap in research, which is the third key component in the introduction section. The writer will then indicate the fourth key component, which is the purpose of their study. When writing about the purpose, the writer shifts the language of their research question. What natural chemical treatment strategies are most effective for reducing the presence of varroa mites in honeybee colonies? They shift the language of their research question from a question into a statement. In this varroa mite article, they would include the sentence, "The purpose was to determine which natural chemical treatment strategies are most effective for reducing the presence of varroa mites in honeybee colonies." So, when you are writing or revising your introduction section of a scientific research article, be sure to explicitly include these 4 key components: the broad topic, the problem, the gap, and the purpose statement.